first of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and telling me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find, but I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys that they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
What's going on, YouTube? Nathan back with another video presentation. Happy Hump Day. Hope everyone's is having a great week so far. Hope everybody's staying safe. The weather was out today. Weather today was beautiful. It was better than the last couple of days. It was very chilly, but we are getting into that time of the year where it's hoodie season. I like when it gets a little colder, like the fall, winter, spring. I hate the summer. I despise the summer. I don't. That's let me get off that. Before we get into the video, there's a few things I need to say up front. This is episode 2 of the podcast, season 4. I've finished downloading all the episodes, the remaining episodes of season 3, and hoping to have those uploaded on Anchor Friday. And we'll have the first 2 episodes of this season upload on Anchor as well. And then we'll go on Spotify as well. A couple other things in today's video. I'm not going to be too long-winded with it. Tomorrow night we got Thursday Night Football, week 7 of the NFL season. 7 weeks, my gosh. And then, anything that's happening around the NFL. I'm going to recap opening night for the NBA. Really good, really great basketball. Some things that I observed. I'm going to break down for you on those games. Did some things around the NBA. Kind of wanted to recap some things, particularly with Ben Simmons. Recap some stuff that's happening with the Major League Baseball play in baseball right now. The playoffs right now. The Astros and Red Sox are playing. Last night, the Braves lost to the Dodgers. I'm hoping to get Nick Rosario on here on the podcast, hopefully this Friday, crossing fingers. That's really going to be the episode. If you're enjoying the content that you're seeing, be sure to consider hitting that thumbs up and considering that subscribe button along with notification bells on. Before we get started, let me just say thank you to those for helping me get to 100 subscribers last night. I appreciated that. I appreciate the support that each and every one of you have been giving the channel. I never thought we would get this far, so we would get to this point. That's not just with the podcast. It's been more with YouTube. When I started doing YouTube, I did it last March, April, in the midst of the pandemic. I think the first 2 videos I did was in February. But where I really started getting going was around March, April, May, and in the summer. So, my goal, 500, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. The grind doesn't stop. So, again, it's just a road to greatness. I just appreciate the support you guys are giving me. And it's much love, really. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for all those that have made that are joining me on this road to greatness. I appreciate it. Thank you. So we're going to get into it. The first topic of the night, Thursday night football, ladies and gentlemen. The Denver Broncos versus those Cleveland Brownies. Really quick, couple things. So we all know that this season the Denver Broncos started off 3-0. Against 3 teams that started off the year 0-3. Since then, they're now 500. Their defense that allowed 34 points to the Las Vegas Raiders is not the same defense that a couple friends have tried to sell me on. Cleveland. It's bad enough that we're dealing with injuries. Nick Chubb's out, Kareem Hunt's out for 3 weeks, and now Baker Mayfield. Really quick, I want to say this. In defense of Baker Mayfield, I know I have been critical of Baker Mayfield from the standpoint of how the media moves the goalpost on Lamar Jackson. They've never moved the goalpost on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has all this talent around him, and yet the media continues to make excuses. Now people are coming out and saying, well, he's not that guy. Was he not that guy because he's not exceeding your expectations? Or is it bigger than Baker Mayfield? So when they say, can he lead your team to a Super Bowl? Is he the guy, or he's just another guy? See, we have to be careful, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna keep saying this, and then I'm gonna bring this same point up when I get to the Ben Simmons talk. The media controls and tries to spin narratives. I just think collectively, I understand Baker Mayfield was number 1 overall pick. I get that, and their expectations are high for Cleveland. But it's not just Baker Mayfield; it's the team as well. Odell Beckham Jr. injuries. Now that I read where he doesn't want to be there anymore because Baker Mayfield and him are on the same page chemistry wise. It's hard to get back into that rhythm when you don't have your best wide receiver. He doesn't have Jarvis Landry. You can't expect a guy to carry. Well, I mean, look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson doesn't have a Jarvis Landry. He doesn't have an Odell Beckham Jr. He's working with less, and yet Lamar Jackson's not getting the credit that I believe he deserves. With Baker Mayfield, now they're saying, is he not? He's just not that guy. And again, you have people in the media that like to just chirp. So I think to a certain extent, I don't think he is the guy to lead your team. I think he's a piece of the puzzle to help your team get to a championship. My point is that notice how the expectations and notice how the media moves the pendulum on different quarterbacks. And when they don't exceed expectations, then they trash the guy. I've just been critical on Baker Mayfield because I'm just trying to sit here and say, man, you're hyping this guy up, and the Cleveland Browns are who we thought they were. They're disrespecting the Browns. The Browns have a great team. They do. I'm not taking anything away from them because everybody, again, said on paper that the defense looks great. Because the biggest key, this is not just with Cleveland, this is for any NFL team. The key is staying healthy. And again, they don't have Jarvis Landry. Kareem Hunt's now out. Nick Chubb's out. Odell Beckham Jr. just came off injury. And now they just lost Baker. So that really hurts. And on top of that, after losing Sunday to Arizona, Cleveland's on a short week. Now they got to fill in the gaps. Now, Case Keenum starting. His first start since 2019. Last time we saw Case Keenum was with Minnesota. This is why I like Case Keenum. He's a veteran, and he's been in these situations before. Now, again, as already stated, Odell Beckham Jr. may not play because of a shoulder injury, and Jarvis Landry, there's questionable, hasn't played since week 2. Now, I believe their backup is from the practice squad. His name is Nick Mullins. Yeah, Nick Mullins. Okay. Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been effective since they went 3-0. After when he went down with the injury against Baltimore in week 4, he's just completed 17 of 16 passes. He's thrown 4 interceptions and has been sacked 7 times. Now, again, Cleveland, this defense, everyone was was trying to sell people on, this is the best team in the AFC. The defense, this is an opportunity for them to take advantage of that. And the 55 career starts Teddy Bridgewater. I read that somewhere. This is his first matchup against the Browns. I was like, wow. Jerry Jeudy, I believe, is supposed to be back. He has been designated from where he's coming off the IR, but Coach Fangio hasn't said when. I've heard that in the press conference today on YouTube. There's just a lot of things. I mean, really, honestly, I don't know what Bronco team you're going to get, and I don't know what Cleveland team you're going to get. Cleveland, for this, particularly their running backs, you're going to have someone named, you got Dearness Johnson, Demetric Felton, and John Kelly. Babies, rookie. I mean, they're this is a backfield that's practically inexperienced. But this is again next man up and a good opportunity to see, particularly who could be that third running back behind Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb when they come back. So, don't know which Cleveland team is going to show up. Hey, Lucinda, how are you? Hope your day was well. Good to see you. I'm going to say the Denver Broncos win tomorrow night, 24-21. Guaranteed. So we got to really fix Thursday night football, because it just really throws you off, because it's like, oh, we got a football game, and it starts the new week of the season off. So, it's going to be an interesting matchup. I'm going with the Denver Broncos. So it seems like with the around the NFL news, I was looking, Deshaun Watson could be a Miami Dolphin before the trade deadline. I think the time for Tula is done. They said a deal this week could be done. If you're not paying, if you remember about Deshaun Watson, he requested a trade back in January, and this is where all these things, all these allegations on him. Hey, Chad in the comment says, "How you doing? Good to see you." All these things about him out of the blue, once he wants out of Houston, come out of nowhere. It still doesn't feel right to me. It's just something about it doesn't sit right on my head. The Texans are 1-5 at the moment, and the Miami Dolphins are also 1-5. I feel bad for Tula. I do. It really is. It really is not more. I think it's just I wasn't sold on him. I think he should have stayed another year in college. He should have stayed his senior year. I know there was talking about Washington could get Tula in that as well. I'm not sure how that would work, but my only thing with Washington is, what's the draft capital we would give up? Because Taylor Heineke, I'm going to save that for Friday when I do the preview, when we have to play the Packers. I'm going to save that. The NFL agreed to end race-based brain testing in a $1 billion settlement. This was actually pretty good and actually an interesting article. Nate, question. What's the question? Talk to me. What's the question? So in the article, basically said the testing for dementia was difficult for African American retirees that averaged around $500,000 or more dollars. I think that's sick. I think that's disgusting that African American players have to pay more in testing for dementia, concussions, and different things like that. Because these things are no joke. These guys are human, and the fact that Nathan, what do you think? I really was trying to figure out why you had that song with making cookies. So I was really trying to figure that out. I'm like, but she's not making any milkshakes. She's baking cookies. So, and listen, if they bring all the boys to the yard, I ain't mad at you. I'm not mad at you. So I think that's good. And again, this is progress, really, for those guys. Like Junior Seau, different things like that. Testing should be equal and available for all NFL players. I just think it's really crazy that these are the things that we're trying to systematically reverse. Let's see what else is going on. That's pretty much what I saw in the NFL for the news. I will kind of touch more on my thoughts about the Sean Taylor. Did you know Lucinda's milkshake? Yeah. They do. I might have to try some of those cookies. I might have to try. But I want to touch more on the Sean Taylor thing, Friday's video. I just have more thoughts about that. If you guys didn't know, Sean Taylor played for the Washington football team from 2004, and then his life was tragically ended in 2007. And 14 years later, on Sunday, the Washington football team, in the midst of what's been going on with them as an organization, retired his jersey. So I'm we're pretending to be trolls. We're trying to make you laugh, Nate. Oh man, y'all funny. Y'all funny tonight. I saw the video. I want to play that video before we end the video, because I'm trying to figure out, like, where's the premise? Like, you're making cookies and you're playing Khalees. But it was funny when I first saw it. I'm like, do I see this right? So, opening night. It was a great opening night for basketball. First and foremost, it was great to see on the inside the NBA, Ernie, we're trying to get you off your game. That ain't right. That ain't right, man. We're trying to get good to see Ernie, Chuck, Kenny, and the crew on Inside the NBA back last night. Two good games. I want to put emphasis on this. It's only one game. We still got 81 more games to go. So I don't know why we're going to push the panic button. That's just me. That's just how I feel. I don't know why we're going to do that. But we're going to start off with the There's No Purpose. It was just a song that popped in my head. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. We have to get you a bakery shop, and that can be your yeah. But the Milwaukee Bucks. I'll start with the Milwaukee Bucks defeated the Brooklyn Nets 127-104.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming. Or act like I know this was coming because I did it.
Couple things that I took away from it. First and foremost, it was their opening night, so they got their rings. Um, same energy from last season at the Forum. The Bucks, they look like they're ready. They're on a mission. I liked Giannis as a leader. They talked about all the distractions that exist, and he knows that comes with the game when it comes to as a game of basketball. I typically when you win a championship, there's kind of that hangover, and that's just not in basketball. That's in baseball, football, hockey. That's in all the sports. That's in every sport. Pat Connaughton played really well last night. Played 30 minutes, had 20 points. I've noticed I've been seeing a difference from last year to this year. He's definitely making an improvements, particularly how to getting to the hoop. Heavily contested, did really well on that. I definitely feel like, particularly with the injuries, they're going to rely on him more. I'm not sure about a bakery shop, but thanks. You never know. Bakery shop, we got we got you. Oh my goodness. Well, listen. I mean, you can even sell them out your home. You can make cookies and milkshakes. There you go. We had someone named Jordan Wara. He got some minutes in there. More of a defender, did really well. He played 26 minutes, 15 points, 6 of 13 from the field. The one play he had on Kevin Durant was really nice. I definitely think he's going to bring some energy off the bench for the Bucks. But again, like I said, it's opening night, and I'm not going to really panic after one night. Brooke Lopez being a rim protector and also 3-point shooting. Brooklyn's still figuring it out. They don't have Kyrie Irving. They had Harden. At one point, Steve Nash had KD, Harden, Claxton, and Blake Griffin, and Joe Harris. They didn't play one preseason game together. The last time we saw them, actually didn't play that preseason playoff game or regular season. So in the first 9 minutes, they got outscored by 11 points. Blake Griffin, I looked at highlights. He practically the whole preseason was playing as a center. Before, I don't know why Nash went 10 deep. Patty Mills looked good. He had 21 points. He was 7 of 7. He didn't get Bruce Brown in there until the game was over. I noticed that. But again, it was only the first game of the season. So I'm not going to really panic about that. But congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks, and congratulations on getting those rings. It looked really nice. The Golden State Warriors defeated the Los Angeles Lakers 121-114.
I'm not going to even sit here and act like I didn't know this was coming. Or act like I know this was coming because I did it.
Okay. Now, all my Laker fans, calm down. It's just one game. Okay? It's one game. Let's not push the panic button. Let's not the eject. Let's not eject. It's one game. Okay? Take a deep breath. Musa. Okay? Now, a couple of things that I saw. I'll start with the Warriors. I like the fact I like Jordan Poole. as a wingman, did a really nice job of taking guys off the dribble and shooting with confidence with no hesitation. He had 20 points. Golden State, in my personal opinion, is the best passing team in the league. They notched the same team that notched 30 assists, but also shown some unnecessary passes. Okay. The first, even though Anthony Davis and LeBron James combined had 67 points, Golden State still stayed in the game. With Russell Westbrook, that's right, Warriors. Excuse you, Warriors, got this. Do you smell the cookies? I sure do. I like chocolate chip, snickerdoodle. Russell Westbrook, okay. Again, listen, it's one game, okay. He's the third option. LeBron, AD. Now, there were moments Frank Vogel had him and Rondo on the floor at the same time. You can't do that. I really think Frank Vogel's going to have to find ways to particularly create ways for Russell Westbrook to be creative and engaged on offense. I personally think if Russ comes off the bench with the second unit, I think that's more energy. I think you'll find more creativity. You could be more creativity with him. I just think having him, the biggest question that I have for Frank Vogel, are you going to have Russell Westbrook come clutch time, the last 5 minutes of the game, on the floor with LeBron and AD? Now, I think the spacing the floor has to be better. Westbrook, he has to use the lanes to drive. He needs to drive lanes to get his game going. Now, he can't just go, well, if I can't get anything going, I'm just going to step back and shoot threes. They're going to have to, again, now keep in mind, Kendrick Nunn didn't play. Wayne Ellington didn't play. And, I'm forgetting the other guy's name. I'm drawing a blank. And Malik Monk. No, Trevor Ariza. They didn't play last night. So when you get those guys back, things I think will be a lot easier offensively. Because when you have lineups like with DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard, like, you're just going to play zone defense with those guys. They tore those cookies up. I bet they did. So I'm not with the game. That's what I took away. You know, it's just one game. But going back to Golden State, some of the moves they made. Bjelica looked really good out there. He had 15 points. He had a double-double. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Kind of reminded me of David Lee when he was in Golden State. Andrew Wiggins had 12 points. Damian Lee had 15 points. It was the little things. But the only thing with the Lakers is those are things that they're going to have to figure out. Now, when you're down 4 bench players and 3 of them are guards, Frank Vogel, I don't know why you forced unconventional lineups that could keep you in the game with Golden State. Now, he did miss the first 6. Westbrook missed the first 6 shots, but he's still in an adjustment period. I liked how LeBron told him, and I read this earlier today, where he said, "Go home, watch a comedy, take your mind off of it." Because you could tell when Russ doesn't have a good game, it bothers him. And I think he carries that over, and that's something that going forward, I think it's an adjustment period. But the Lakers, they play the Suns Friday. Last time we saw this team play them was the first round, and you got the Golden State Warriors playing the Los Angeles Clippers. Again, it was just one game. Oh, another thing, Carmelo Anthony. I don't know what was going through his head when he pump faked at the free throw line. I don't know if that was a brain freeze. I really don't know. It was funny. But, yeah. So, I mean, we can also put the biggest things like, free throw line, different. It's the first game of the season, so I'm not going to panic. And neither should Laker fans after one game. So, really quick, I think that the Golden State Warriors will beat the Los Angeles Clippers.
Guaranteed.
The Los Angeles Lakers play the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to say the Lakers are going to beat the Suns.
Guaranteed.
Please do. I greatly appreciate that. I'm not a control. With the Phoenix Suns, this actually goes into this is great. So DeAndre Ayton, for some unknown reason, they haven't agreed on a contract extension. But he said he was disappointed. But I don't think I don't think that they're going to walk away from it. He said it. He said it in I was reading. I think it was on CBS Sports. That he just wants to be respected. I don't know where that's coming from. I definitely think between relationships between the teams and players, this is why I'm just not fond of guys, and particularly when it comes to money. This is what hurts teams. This is what divides locker rooms, and it really hurts winning a championship. You had the Phoenix Suns and the Phoenix Mercury both in the finals. And I feel like I don't think this is going to derail Phoenix, but I think it hurts them. It hurts. I just feel like I'm hoping that they get it situated, because it actually can hurt and derail your chance. Because some guys may go, I want out. They're not going to pay me, so some guys may hold out. And like I said, I think this year, the expectation is championship or bust. In my personal opinion, for Phoenix, they got to get there and they have to win. So I'm hoping that DeAndre and the Phoenix Suns will definitely get there for sure. Continue to just pray for Delonte West. He got arrested in Florida for reportedly resisting arrest while intoxicated. That's just, he was doing so well. Mark Cuban, helped him got into rehab, and you just hate to see that kind of a relapse. So just continue to pray for Delonte West. The next 25 of the NBA's 70, since it's the 75th anniversary, the next 25 of the NBA 75 team was revealed. So, number 26, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Isaiah Thomas, Clyde Drexler, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Chris Paul, Allen Iverson, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, John Havlicek, Sam Jones, Robert Parrish, Bill Sharman, Bill Walton, Will Frazier, Paul Arizin, Rick Barry, Nate Thurman, and Wes Unseld. The remaining 25 will be revealed tomorrow on the NBA tip-off with Inside the NBA with Ernie and the crew. Good list so far. So far, so good. I think we were kind of curious to see who would be on that list, who might miss it, who might not be. Hey, and then look, and another, when we get to the 100th, we're going to have the same thing, NBA's 100 top 100 players. So congratulations to those that made the second part of the 75th team for sure. I didn't even play the Vic Fangio clip, but that's okay. Really quick, before I get into that, I wanted to play this real quick clip of with Ben Simmons and what's going on in Philadelphia. Because now, like, I touched on it last night, and I'm going to bring up more. Ben Simmons, I don't think what we're asking is a lot. When you're getting paid that kind of money, you should be wanting to be a better player. You know how our parents always told us we should strive to be better than them. He should strive to be a better player than what he is currently. We have been saying it for now, going on now 5 years. He's one jump shot away from being the next LeBron James. And obviously it just seems to go in one ear and out the other. Now, his behavior at practice, he has a phone in his pocket. He doesn't even get in the team huddle. His reluctance to practice, participate in the drill, where until Doc Rivers says, go home, you're done. And then he's suspended. He won't play Friday against the Pelicans. This is what I'm talking about, and when it comes to accountability. I really don't understand what it's going to take for a guy like, and it's not just for him. And this is a message really for other guys, because when it's more about when you put yourself before the team, and when you don't seem to want to make the necessary changes to be better, and you think your skill set is just you're okay with being where you're at. That's why I just feel like I'm not a fan of when certain guys get this kind of money, because we don't hold them accountable. And he threw one coach under the bus, got Brett Brown fired. Now I kind of see I see why I respect Jimmy Butler more as a player, because it wasn't Jimmy. It wasn't Jimmy in Minnesota, and it wasn't Jimmy in Philadelphia. There's more to this. It's more to the problem. Now, Doc Rivers, this is where it all started from, where the question was, can Ben Simmons be the point guard of a championship team? And Doc said, I don't have the answer to that right now. That's where this stems from. But it stems more. It's beyond that, ladies and gentlemen. We have been saying it now for 5 years. When is he going to learn how to shoot the ball? And once again, I'm going to keep saying it, and this is where the media now has found a way to move the goalposts and say, well, maybe it's not Ben Simmons that's the problem. Maybe it's the city of Philadelphia. And I want you to hear how this certain guy in the national media goes, well, maybe it's the fans. So I want you to hear this. Oh, hold on.
Anthony Gargano from 97.5, The Fanatic, joins us right now here on Keyshawn J. Willimax on the Goodyear Hotline. Good morning, Anthony.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Anthony?
You correctly said it. The fans have taken it easy. They've coddled Ben.
Yep. Yep. So let's start with this. I can imagine what the fan reaction is going to be. What's your reaction to the Ben Simmons situation?
I mean, guys, I love this kid coming out of LSU. Yeah, I like everybody else, look at the skill sets. I'm stunned that this is where we're at this deep into his career, and I just don't understand what his beef is. What's his problem? Why does he want to leave? He signed a contract that has 4 years left in it. Like, if you would have known if you didn't want to be here, you wouldn't have signed the deal. And it goes back to, I just think there's something, he's got issues, and he tries to hide behind certain, lies that he makes up in his head, because none of it holds water. He was the reason why they lost that series against Atlanta.
AG, stop. He's
Here
not.
we go.
Yeah,
Dude, AG.
You guys had a dumb. You guys.
Here we go. Here's
Wait,
my man
whoa,
with his false narrative.
Whoa, Anthony, I'm not sitting up here on national TV and radio trying to say that he wasn't one of the main reasons why, but it's not like you guys didn't have a double-digit lead, close to a 20-point lead that was blown multiple times in that series. I just don't understand how. I get
You're
the
right.
vitriol, but I don't
You're
understand
right,
how
but
he
you
becomes
know
like the
better than
main
anybody.
villain.
The offense. Yeah, but you know better than anybody. He couldn't run an offense with Ben. Ben hid.
But,
if you watch
but Anthony,
that game,
he's not a point guard.
He hid in plain sight.
He's a point forward. He's not a point guard. The ball shouldn't be in this man's hands. Doc Rivers came out from the beginning of the year. He's like, he's our point guard. I'm like, why are you?
But see, this is what bothers me, and we have said it, and we will continue to say it again. There have been numerous times where people have told Doc Rivers, you need to take him out the game. And he just comes, and his reaction just goes, you want me to take him out the game? Yes, we do. If he's just going to stand around and not shoot the ball and not be aggressive, like there have been numerous examples where he's the second best player on that floor, where he's not being assertive. He didn't take a shot in that whole series against Atlanta. There were a multitude of issues of why Philadelphia lost that series. But if he's your guard and shoot the ball, why am I going to have him on the floor? Plain and simple.
You're doing the same thing that Brett Brown did, Doc. It's the same mistake I'm watching over and
over. He's not a point guard. If the ball doesn't belong in his hands, where is he? Because he can't stretch the floor because he won't shoot.
He's a point forward. When he gets rebounds, push the ball in transition, set screens, dunker spot, roll to the rim, allow Joel Embiid to flare out, shoot threes. That's the position he should be in.
You're still playing 4-on-5 in a half-court set because you know in the playoffs it becomes a half-court game, and he's useless in a half-court game.
I agree. That's why it doesn't work. That's why it doesn't work with Joel Embiid. That's why he needs to be on a different team.
How about if my man just went to the rim? Like, how about if my man just attacked the rim?
I agree with you on that. Once again, Anthony, I'm not making excuses for his lack of aggressiveness.
Yeah. Doc, listen,
Yeah,
Doc Rivers
like,
playing an all-bench unit.
hardened.
Doc Rivers playing an all-bench unit didn't help things in that series either.
Wait, Anthony, let me ask you this question.
You guys are right.
Let me ask you.
Of course, we're right, AG.
You knowing the history and you pay close attention. I know I give people nicknames for no reason. That's my fault, Anthony. Knowing his history, how he is mentally, right? Do you think he'll miss that first game against New Orleans? Your first game at home against the Brooklyn Nets.
Yes.
Do you think that Ben Simmons will shrink, or do you think he will step up and handle that challenge that first game back?
Listen, guys, I would bet my pinky toe that he doesn't play. He doesn't even show up to the arena Friday night.
100.
What'll happen is he'll get kicked out of practice tomorrow when they come back, and he'll be suspended for Friday night. There's no way I could fathom him walking into that arena. He has done tested the fans' patience enough. They love that kid. You know, like they tried to will him, and they're done. I mean, you could well imagine what this fan base has been through since the whole process started, from Colangelo's wife and the Twitter eggs to Markelle Fultz, who didn't want to shoot. I mean, this thing has been one craziness after another.
Hey, Anthony, let's just.
Now, I want you to hear what Keyshawn Johnson has to say. And for the record, I respect what Keyshawn Johnson has to say when it comes to certain things, particularly his come to the defense of Lamar Jackson. But in this instance, I disagree with him.
Let's play a game here. Let's play devil's advocate. What if he does show up and fall in the line and he plays in that game? What will be the fan base's reaction at that point in time?
Well, they will obviously they'll boo him vociferously for every time he touches the ball. But if he integrated, let me tell you, we're a forgiving society, right? If he integrated himself, all he had to do, guys, is go, give me a big mea culpa. Yo, man, I'm really sorry. I don't got in me. I just want to be a Sixer. I just want to play. I just want to do the right thing. That's it.
Now, let me ask you this.
That he's sold.
Do you think, though, the Philadelphia, and I've played in Philly against the Eagles or whatnot, and I know how disrespectful they can be to the opponent. Do you think?
Oh, here we go.
You booed Santa Claus. Come on, man. Do you think?
It's fake news.
Yeah. Do you think fake news? Yeah. Do you think at all, though, that they played a part in how he feels a year ago? Now you getting ready to sit here and tell me, look,
absolutely
I watch as much
not.
sports. I watch as much sports as you do times 700. Are you telling me?
Because I live here,
Come
you
on,
got
man.
no idea what goes on here.
Yes,
None.
I do.
You
I
came
can
here
see
as
it.
the enemy.
But I can
You
still
you
see
can't
it.
see nothing.
Oh, see, come on,
Nah, man.
I
stop with that
got people.
nonsense.
Hold on. I
Take
got
that down
people
the
like
street.
Tim Legler, who lives in the area. I got people like Stephen A, who's worked
Listen,
in
Legs
the
is
area.
a friend of mine. He knows.
Okay, the fans in Philadelphia are so disrespectful that.
Negative.
Are you telling me?
Negative. You weren't there when they tried to. You weren't there when they tried to buttress him, to give him confidence.
But that's not what I
to
asked
coddle him.
you.
I was there, man.
And I asked you simple. Do you think you and your fan base played any role in his feelings?
Absolutely not.
Oh God, I got to get this guy off the air.
No.
I gotta get you. I
No.
can't
No, I
have
don't.
you
think.
lying.
I don't think. You know, I got to be honest, Key. I thought that the Philly fan base basically took it easy with Ben Simmons. Now, of course, if you don't shoot, if you're one of the culprits for why you lose a series, of course they're going to get on you.
And that's I should have stopped it right there, but. That see like right there like that's moving like he moved the goalpost, and the reason they lost in that series because their second best player for the first quarter wasn't taking shots. Like that can't happen. They can't keep him on the floor because they're playing 4-on-5 basketball. Now again, and this is just what bothers me. We've been now talking about this for 5 years straight. As a fan base, Lucinda can speak this with Golden State. Hendricks can speak this in Detroit. When there is a certain expectation of your teams, if they don't play, if a guy does not play well, fans are going to let them know. For example, Ravens are a great example of this. This is well, I'm not. Well, you can use it with any sport, but I'm gonna stick with basketball. The Wizards, John Wall, the last 2 years, we didn't know if he could play basketball because he's been just injured. And unfortunately, as a fan base, you know, Ernie Grunfeld and all them, you know, they 1 minute they want to compete for a championship, next minute they want to be mediocre. Well, now I'm hoping that this season with Tommy Shepard at the wheel and a new head coach, I hope it's different. But we hope you hold players to a certain extent. If you play like trash, we're going to let you know when you play like trash. Now, their last hope for Philadelphia was Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. When you have the years of the process, we're talking Jahlil Okafor, Markelle Fultz, Michael Carter-Williams, high draft picks that have not succeeded. Well, the only thing we're saying was Markelle Fultz. He couldn't shoot the ball. Jahlil Okafor was just not a good pick for Philadelphia, in my personal opinion. He just was not. Michael Carter Williams, I thought like I think here it is. Yes, a narrative that they've tried to create, and that's not on the fans of Philadelphia. That's on Ben Simmons. The Philadelphia 76ers have to take some blame, yes, but at the end of the day, I apologize that for ladies and gentlemen, I kind of went out there. Getting to a point where we got to start holding these guys accountable. Instead of looking at it from that standpoint, like that Keyshawn tried to do, look at it from the standpoint of maybe it's just not, maybe we got to start, it's the players. Okay, my phone froze for a sec. Yeah, I'm having some technical difficulties. Am I back? All right. So that's all I'm trying to say with Ben Simmons. It's going to have to stop. Pretty much simple. Hold the man accountable. I don't know what team would take him. In my personal opinion, I don't. Because if I was a GM, I needed to trade him, and they say, hey, if I was the GM for the Wizards, we'll trade. Could we have Bradley Beal for Ben Simmons? No, because at this point he's diminishing his own value, and I'm disappointed in his agent, Rich Paul, and also to his circle, because somebody should be talking some to him. But it just seems like, again, Ben Simmons just is okay with being in the situation that he's in.
Bullshit.
So, I'm glad Joel Embiid took initiative and saying, look, forget this guy. We're here to win a championship. I would do the same thing. If the GM said, hey, Ben Simmons is a free agent, let's sign him. No.
Guaranteed.
Okay, two more topics and we're done for the night. So around the play of Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves, they took a 3-1 lead to the Dodgers after the loss last night. Looks like the Houston Astros took a 3-2 lead against the Boston Red Sox, 9-1. Really quick, I think the Atlanta Braves are going to sweep. They're going to advance to the World Series.
Guaranteed.
The Boston Red Sox and Houston Astro game will go to a Game 7.
Guaranteed.
The Boston Red Sox will advance to the World Series.
Guaranteed.
Really quick, I want to give a shout out to Lucinda for sending me this topic. I wanted to talk about it because I felt like it was really interesting to talk about. So I want to give my thoughts and prayers to those who were affected by this at Grambling State University. There was a shooting at a homecoming event. One person was killed and 7 others were wounded. In the video, you can see a lot of people running for their lives. In the one video, there's another one where there's people fighting one another around each other, and pretty much it's panic. According to the article, the 2 individuals, they were not enrolled at the school, and just started shooting at one another. It's kind of really, it's kind of scary that, on your own campus, you can't really you can't go to events without having to look over your shoulder, or, being with somebody that you know. I mean, I'm talking about a buddy system. I mean, being with a small group of friends. If you just feel like that sucks. I think this year the university turns 120 years old. And it's sad that happened. Same thing at the university that I attend. There was a party that should not have happened, and a couple people got shot. Like things like that we have to be mindful of, because you just don't know what can happen. So definitely praying for those that were definitely affected with the shooting at Grambling State. And hopefully, as a university, as a community, it's a good time to rally around each other, check on each other. And yeah. Also, too, with the University of Tennessee, I thought that was very interesting. They lost to Mississippi Saturday, and I thought it was very, very tasteless that you had fans, according to from the student section. That was sad, definitely. That was throwing objects. Regardless of the situation in the SEC, them being fined doesn't fix it if these issues aren't addressed. It's really simple. It's time to start hiring some people full time. I mean, a whole game had to be paused because of a bad call. He was short of the first down, and I mean, like we can't, like, this is what I'm talking about, and this is what I mean. Like, we can't eat, like, as I can't even go to a game knowing it was really awful. I'm in Tennessee SMH. Like, we can't, like, go to these events, have a good time without it being disrupted. It's not just, and this was just this is just an example, but I want to give a shout out to Sean Spencer. He told a story of University of Tennessee should be ashamed. Well, I appreciate that they're taking an action. I was kind of hoping that a statement from the university president would have held them accountable and saying, look, that's not how we represent the volunteers. That's not, as a school, that's how we should represent ourselves. That's really embarrassing, because somebody could have gotten really hurt. And, well, back to my point, Sean Spencer was telling a story. They were at the game against the Saints, and a couple guys got in the game, were somehow gotten to the stadium, did something they shouldn't have been doing. Somebody went over and said, hey, you might want to check that out. They got offensive. They got offended by that. And how Sean explained it was, I guess, from where they were sitting, there's like the Jumbotron, the Titantron and whatnot. Like, if the guy whoever it was that tried to jump, try to like leap over, like that would have went over, and that would have been a nasty disaster. But it's just like, my point is that there has to be some kind of accountability, because I'm just there to have a good time. Yes, a referee is going to make a bad call, or you may not agree with it. But to throw objects like that, I think even one like who brings mustard to a game. And I know what the AD said. They were pointing they're pointing people out, and they have them on camera. I mean, that's great, but it's something that has to be fixed. But that was very, very disgusting. I saw that game Saturday, and it's not just with college, it's with pros. We all have to be better fan bases. Again, and that's what makes their jobs harder, because now I don't know how it's going to look going forward. But I hope it's a lesson learned. Like, man, maybe we should not have done that, because again, like I said, people see it, and you can't run away from it. So when you guys go to these events, man, just be careful. Stay safe. I mean, and also to have a good time. Just be careful, and enjoy the game. But thank you. Shout out to Lucinda for sending me that article. It was good. That was a good topic to talk about. So my outlook for season 4. So a couple things are going to change. So now that we're kind of transitioning out of baseball, and we, as of Sunday, transitioned away from the WNBA, college basketball starting up, men and women's. I'm going to try to get in much college football talk. I'm going to try to get some in there as best as I can. The NBA is picking up. I'm not going to cover every game. I'm going to probably, I'm going to cover the Wizards for sure, and then some prime time games. I'm hoping to have my three guests on at some point, hopefully this weekend, to do our season outlook preview, MVP, Rookie of the Year, top 8 teams. I'm hoping to have that done this weekend. I need to reach out to them. I'm also going to kind of mix it up. I'm going to try to also reach out to some YouTubers, and like say, hey, like, what made you start YouTube? I feel like there's more than what I do than just sports. So I'm going to try to expand the podcast more. That is my goal, is to expand it. So you be on the lookout for another episode Friday evening. That'll be season 3. That is going to probably be the previews for week 7, this weekend of football. Sean Spencer might join me on that video, not sure yet. And yes, that's it. So that concludes episode 2 of the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. You guys let me know your thoughts. Thank you for those that came in and joined me this evening. Shout out to Spikey, T and Michelle, Lucinda, Hendricks, chatting with Common Sense. Shout out to y'all for joining me. Thank you for chatting with me. Lucinda, you owe me a batch of cookies and a vanilla milkshake. So, yes. With that being said, y'all have a good evening. I have to go. I'm ready to go to bed. I have to work a 12-hour shift tomorrow. So, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I'm going to get some sleep. So y'all take it easy. Y'all have a good night.
Get down! Get down!
First of all, listen, it's interesting about all these young guys today. They never call on us and say, hey, thanks for the kind word and telling me how great a player I am. But when they play like crap and we call them out, we don't know what we're talking about. Listen, I'm easy to find, but I get sick of these guys complaining. These young guys, they never call us and say, when a coach is wrong, I'm going to call him out. But when players are wrong, I'm going to call them out. But listen, I'm going to criticize guys that they deserve it. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.